Tracing its beginnings as far back as 1901, Biltmore Industries ranks among the longest running arts and crafts enterprises in America. In 1917, it moved to these workshops constructed on the grounds of the 1913 Grove Park Inn, where it specialized in hand carved bowls, trays, and picture frames, as well as the weaving of homespun cloth prized for men's and women's suits. By 1985, the weaving rooms and workshops were empty, but not for long. A local family restored the buildings, which today serve as studios for artists and artisans, as well as the nationally known Grovewood Gallery. In 1901, 32-year-old woodcarver Eleanor Vance and her partner Charlotte Yale arrived in Asheville, where they volunteered to teach woodcarving to the sons and daughters of families who worked for George and Edith Vanderbilt on their 142,000-acre estate. Impressed with their efforts, in 1905, the Vanderbilts financed the formation of Biltmore Estate Industries with Vance and Yale as its managers. In a building located in Biltmore Village on the south edge of Asheville, Vance and Yale taught young men and women how to make and carve walnut bowls, trays, and other items they sold to tourists and local residents. Eleanor Vance designed each item, drawing upon native flora for her inspiration. Several of the young men aspired to more ambitious projects, prompting George Vanderbilt to equip a woodworking shop for them and to hire the services of a furniture maker to train them. One of the young men, George Arthur, seen here on the far right, demonstrated a high degree of proficiency in both carving and woodworking and was promoted to the position of workshop manager. Under George Arthur's direction, the woodcarvers excelled at reproducing furniture in a variety of historical styles, including arts and crafts, while the woodcarvers Vance and Yale supervised developed a strong following in Asheville and beyond. Reflecting Edith Vanderbilt's personal interest in hand weaving, Vance and Yale traveled to England to learn the process of weaving homespun cloth from wool. The woodworkers assembled several looms for the studio in Biltmore Industries, where both young men and women wove bolts of cloth for sale to area residents and tourists. A series of incidents, however, signaled a change at Biltmore Estate Industries. In 1914, their benefactor, George Vanderbilt, died unexpectedly from a blood clot. In 1915, Eleanor Vance and Charlotte Yale retired. And in 1916, a devastating flood destroyed Biltmore Village and much of the Biltmore estate. On the far side of Asheville, Frederick Loring Seeley, the son-in-law of Edwin Wiley Grove, was leasing the Grove Park Inn from his father-in-law. Their relationship, however, was rapidly deteriorating, prompting Seeley to prepare for a career to fall back upon should he get ousted from the hotel, which is exactly what later happened. Learning of Edith Vanderbilt's misfortunes, Fred Seeley offered to buy a Biltmore Estate Industries and move the woodworkers and weavers, now renamed as Biltmore Industries, to the grounds of the Grove Park Inn. In 1917, Seeley began construction of 5 arts and crafts style buildings on the north side of the Grove Park Inn. He directed George Arthur and the woodworkers to begin making additional looms, as Seeley had decided to expand the weaving of homespun cloth. Unfortunately, Seeley and George Arthur disagreed over how the woodworkers and woodcarvers should be managed, prompting George Arthur to resign before the end of 1917. From 1917 until 1981, Biltmore homespun cloth was respected and worn across the country and around the world, including by First Ladies Grace Coolidge, Lou Hoover, and Eleanor Roosevelt. However, when the equipment became outdated, clothing styles changed, and the number of craftsmen and women dwindled, the looms went silent. Asheville businessman Harry Blomberg had purchased the property and buildings in 1953, but when the homespun business faded away, he and his family restored and repurposed the buildings. Their office is now a restaurant, and the original main building, shown here, is now a highly respected arts and crafts gallery. Grovewood Gallery has been named Retailer of the Year by Niche Magazine, the exclusive trade publication for independent retailers of American and Canadian fine craft. This award honors retailers for fair business practices, their commitment to supporting artists, and growing and strengthening the North American craft community. Yet another of the original buildings is now home to the Biltmore Industries Museum and a number of studios and workshops. When Fred Seeley constructed these buildings in 1917, he called upon his friend Bert Hubbard and placed an order for several pieces of Roycroft furniture. The museum contains a working loom, several examples of hand-carved items, Roycroft furniture, and other historical items. The original loom building now houses the extensive automobile collection of Harry Blomberg. The collection includes a rare 1957 Cadillac Eldorado, only 400 of which were made, and Asheville's own 1922 American LaFrance fire truck. All the vehicles are in running condition as the staff starts each one every year. This concludes the first portion of our virtual tour of Biltmore Industries at Grovewood Village, but we also have made available for you a copy of a 1994 video history. It includes rare footage of the production of homespun cloth while it was still being made in the 1970s. The video is 15 minutes long and captures another chapter in our arts and crafts heritage. Thanks for watching.